There's something very specific about disappointment that no one prepares you for. It's not just when something fails, it's when you trusted yourself and it still didn't work out. You prayed about it, you thought it through, you were not even reckless in your decision making. Yet somehow things still fell apart anyway. And now you don't trust your own judgment the way you used to. Hi, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Mbali Talks Podcast, the space for women rebuilding their confidence, clarity, and courage, one honest conversation at a time. My name is Mbali, and in this episode, we are talking about how to rebuild self trust, regain your confidence, and make decisions again without fear controlling you. A few years ago, I lost 20,000 Rand in what I genuinely believed was a wise business decision. I had prayed about it, I had reviewed the documents, I genuinely believed in the vision. This was a space that was meant to be a manufacturing hub for other aspiring and startup fashion designers, something collaborative as well as empowering, considering the fact that I was already running a clothing brand. 3 months after I paid and signed, my supposed business partner closed shop and disappeared on me, and I have never seen a single cent of that money again. But what hurt the most wasn't just the financial loss. It was the voice in my head that said, "How did you not see this coming?" Now, in reality, at the time, and even fast forward to different situations right now in my life, I always believed I was a good judge of character. But suddenly, I was questioning that. And after that, I became hesitant about partnerships, about collaborations, and about trusting other people in business in general. And if I'm being utterly honest, it wasn't that I was distrusting them. I was distrusting myself. And that's what this kind of disappointment does. It doesn't just shake your plans, it shakes your entire identity. And this is how you start losing self trust and how your self trust quietly actually starts to break away. And the reason for this is because when something falls apart after you made the right choice, something subtle shifts inside of you. You start hesitating in moments that once felt clear. You overthink small decisions. You end up asking 5 to 10 people for advice on the same decision. And of course, this leads to delayed action on your part. And this is not because you're incapable, but it's because you are afraid of disappointing yourself again. And let me say something gently. Most women are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of looking back and thinking, "I should have known better." So instead of risking that feeling again, you end up shrinking yourself. But shrinking doesn't heal you, it just postpones growth. So, how do we break the chain of mistrust and rebuild the confidence for you to trust yourself again? So, the first thing you want to do in a situation like that is to separate who you are from what actually happened. That is the real first step in rebuilding self trust. You must separate your identity from the outcome of the decision that you have made. You need to teach yourself that one failed relationship does not mean you are bad at love, or that one business that didn't work out does not mean you are necessarily bad at business, or that one decision that went wrong does not mean you are incapable of discernment. It simply means you made the best decision you could with the information and maturity you had at the time. That version of you was simply doing her best. And so the good thing about growth that you can always rely on is that because of your experience, that version of you that made that previous decision is no longer who you are now. You are now wiser, more aware, more measured, and more observant. And that's what matters when you're going forward. Thinking about failure like that, rather than attaching it to who it meant I was as a person, was an absolute game changer for me. It taught me that failing wasn't something that you needed to be afraid of, but rather something that you needed to embrace because it was an experience and not the definition of my character. And unless you are deliberately making the wrong decisions in life every day, choosing the wrong choice over the right one, any choice that you make in good faith that does not work out is simply an opportunity to learn and grow. Remember, we learn by doing. And to avoid getting stuck in life, you will be required to make decisions on an everyday basis. And you need to be aware that other decisions will lead to a failed attempt, while others will yield great results. And you need to know that both are what is needed for your own personal growth. And now that you've become intentional to separate yourself from what actually happened, the first thing that starts happening is you learn to rebuild self-trust. And you want to do this without any dramatic gestures, just so that it stays sustainable. Self-trust is not built with a massive life leap. It is rebuilt quietly by starting small, by keeping one promise to yourself per week. Nothing dramatic, just a simple promise that you make yourself once a week. If you say you're going to apply for that job, apply for it. If you say you'll wake up earlier, set your alarm and wake up earlier. If you say you'll post that video because you're an aspiring content creator, then be sure to post it on the day that you say you're going to do it. Your brain needs consistent evidence that you are a reliable person. Not a perfect person, but a reliable person who's able to show up when they say that they will. That's the first step to rebuilding self-trust. Another thing you want to do during this period of your start out of rebuilding your self-trust is to stop outsourcing every decision. And I totally understand. Advice is helpful and all, but if you consistently ask everyone what else you need to do, slowly you silence your own voice and your capability in trusting yourself to make sound decisions. Before asking someone for advice on what you need to do next, ask yourself, what do I actually want in this situation? Because sometimes, if not most of the times, you already know the answer to that. You're just afraid of standing by it because you're afraid of disappointing yourself again. What I've personally loved about rebuilding self-trust is that it also comes with rebuilding the confidence outside of certainty that things will work out, because I think we often confuse confidence with being sure something will work out. However, confidence is not certainty. Confidence is resilience. It's saying to yourself that even if this doesn't go the way I hope, I still trust myself to be able to handle it. That's the shift that you want to grow into. You don't need to guarantee outcomes. You need to trust your ability to recover if things don't go as planned. I'm sure, like me, there are many things that women like yourselves have survived that were actually meant to shake you. That alone is evidence that you are stronger than what you already think. And as you keep breaking the cycle of mistrust and rebuilding your confidence, you start realizing that you're moving into the next season of your abilities and growth. You're not the same woman who made that old decision. You ask better questions now. You notice patterns faster. You feel red flags even sooner than they are able to launch, which means you can be certain that this next chapter will not be a repetition of where you're actually from and or the person that you were before when you made that past decision. This phase of your life will be a progression with wisdom layered into it, as well as growth having been achieved. And confidence being built in knowing that you not only can make decisions and trust them, but that if things don't work out, you can always try again and better the second and or even the third time around. This is how success in anything is achieved. It is not achieved by being super cautious of every decision because you want to be sure of the outcome, but it is achieved by making decisions, winning some while also losing some, but ultimately just keeping it moving with renewed wisdom. And this has nothing to do with you having fear or not. It's just with the wisdom that comes with better decision making. And I want you to know that you are not alone in this. We have all had moments that want to blow the wind out of our lungs, but by surviving those moments, I can tell you this, you are stronger for it, even now. And I'm so proud of you for wanting to reclaim the ability to trust yourself again, because the reality is, if God has given you the gift of good health, you will be living with yourself for a very long time. So you need to be able to trust at least one person on this earth without a doubt. And that person needs to be you. And before we close, I want to leave you with a few truths. Number one, your past mistakes do not disqualify you from a beautiful future. So if you've stopped trusting yourself, I want you to know that you are not broken. You are simply bruised. And the good thing about bruises is that they do heal if you apply yourself to it. Number two, self-trust is built slowly through kindness, consistency, as well as courage. Make one decision this week without fear leading it. Stand by yourself without getting 10 other people involved in your decision, and let that be the beginning of your rebuilding. And lastly, you are allowed to start again without punishing yourself. The fact that you're reflecting, healing, and growing already proves that you can trust yourself more than you actually think. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Mbali Talks podcast. And if this episode touched you, please subscribe, share it with the woman who needs it, and please leave me a comment or even send me a DM and let me know what made you stop trusting yourself and share that experience so that we can all talk about it. And I will see you in the next Mbali Talks podcast episode.